like a miracle. Red skies in the sky like a radio. Red leaves like a leaf, like a miracle. Red skies in the sky like a radio. Red leaves like a leaf, like a miracle.
Yellow! Happy Tuesday, what's going on? I know I missed a couple days, but there's really no excuse. I just woke up a little bit too late on the other days. Yesterday was the first day of my pretty much first prolonged fast. So Sunday at 8 p.m. was the last time I ate. And I'm planning on doing a 7-day fast. I figured I've been doing the 1 meal a day for 3 weeks. It's become quite easy. And it's not like I'm just trying to rush into things. I'm trying to build up a schedule. So you're supposed to do a 7-day fast every 6 months or so. So I figured why not just start now, get it out of the way. And should help me out a little bit. Today's day 2. So I've been 48 hours, no food. I feel good, which is actually pretty surprising. I don't have high hopes for tomorrow because from everything I've researched, all throughout fasting, the third day is usually the hardest. So we'll see. We'll see. But if I can get through to the 4th day, the 5th day, should be free and clear. And start reaping some of the benefits. I haven't really set myself to a strict do or die schedule. I want to go to 7 days, but if 5 days is all I can get to, and I'm really just not feeling it, I feel like 5 days is perfectly fine. But that way, I'm going to spend the next couple of days doing some research on just recipes, essentially just learning how to cook in the first place. And I'm going to go ahead and try my best to eat a little bit better. And then hopefully that continues to help me. So that's the plan. That's what I've been doing. But other than that, just been doing DoorDash and chillaxing. My buddy's birthday today, so hanging out with him for a little bit. Let's go ahead and check up on the market. Nothing really too much extra is happening. Looks like we're coming back and up to retest this kind of average resistance level. Hopefully we get a confirmed rejection off of this. I'm going to start moving down to the downside. Like I said, at the moment, technically, where we're sitting, there's no room for further development. If we can pump back up above this average resistance, maybe then we can start seeing it come up and retest 32K. 32K, if we break that level, that's when we can get possibly a larger jump. But until those two things happen, we continue to move up, break 32K. I'm not even going to mention these levels. Now, downside is just as easy, right? Really, all we have to do is break down back below 26.5, and then we should have pretty much a direct drop off. Like I said many times before, looking at these levels is a huge jump. Doesn't mean that's all going to happen in one day or a couple hours, but if we continue to hold below this level, that level is very likely. And then past that point, going back down and retest, it probably won't get back down to 15.5k off the bat. It probably will land somewhere around the 17k mark. I don't necessarily think we're going to see 10k, but there's a hope that we will, for sure. But just looking at how things have transpired, we definitely have either the Eve, or this is the Atom if you want to look at it from a higher time frame and view it as more of a V shape. Obviously, perspective is the thing that's going to hold the difference between whether it's an Atom or an Eve. But essentially, we have the makings of that kind of double bottoming pattern that we've seen many times before. So I'm very confident that we will see downside, but who knows? US 100 saw a nice rejection off of that ABC that was created after putting in this higher high here. We do have to get back down below 12,900, and then we could probably see it continue further down. And the SPY is still hanging around that same resistance. It's really struggling. This previous uptrend ended in a bearish ABC. So we're definitely starting to see more and more resistance. It really sucked because as we hang around this level, people get kind of cautious. They go, why aren't we dumping yet? I don't know why we're not dumping yet, but I'm sticking true to what I know. And if we're below those resistances, things are not good. Well, all perspective. It's good for us. Now, unfortunately, I did get wrapped up in a prop firm. So Johnny was telling me about this prop firm site. I can give you the name of the site if you want. And essentially, for $80, they gave you a 10K portfolio to work with. Now, my definitive answer on prop firms is 100%. Unless you are going to JP Morgan Chase or some bank on Wall Street that is known for trading, and you give them a 5-10 year trade log in your success, and they offer you some low-level job and you work your way up, prop firms are scams. Plain and simple. Look at the rules that are involved with them, first and foremost. Not even to... I liquidated my ETH trade. I was going to go open it back up on this prop firm. Now, prop firm took my money. All right, I went through the web portal. Johnny's worked, mine did not. So I'm not calling them a direct scam because they took the money. All right, it's the way that they're handling themselves. So I did everything properly, sent the Ethereum. I even sent a little bit extra for gas fees. 10 minutes go by, nothing. 15 minutes go by, nothing. So eventually I message them. I give them the order ID. I give them the amount sent. And I give them the transaction ID. And I give them the wallet that I sent it from. So gave them all the information they need. And they're still, every time I give them something more, they send another email back asking for more information about the transaction. They don't want to refund it. Now, the other thing being is that most, if not all, 99% of them, like I said, unless you're going to JP Morgan Chase or some reputable trading firm, all right, and you're looking for funding from them to be a trader for them, all right, they're fake. And what I mean by that doesn't mean that you won't get paid out. What I mean by that is all the liquidity on it is fake. Think about it. It's the perfect setup, all right? You have 95% of traders that aren't profitable anyways, who won't pass the initial 2 screening tests. So they're giving you $80 to $1,000 per piece. And then, because 95% of them aren't passing the test, you only have to pay this 5%. And then, of course, you might have holdings of some sort. So it's basically a casino model where people that are good at blackjack get paid out. But there's been plenty of instances where people who make actual winnings, like decent dollar amounts, they get refused to get paid out. And one thing that I noticed about the website that Johnny sent me to, and I'm not blaming Johnny for this at all, the website itself sucks. All right. All of them essentially are just basically scamming you out of money to a certain extent. If you're successful, you could get paid. But like I said, there's the chance where if you're making real money, you won't see any payout. So that's my definitive decision. I'm not going anywhere touching a prop firm. So getting into the rules set of a prop firm. So essentially, they'll ask you to make a 10% return with a max drawdown of 5 to 10%. Plain and simple. All right. From that standpoint, sounds good. All we do is take what we already know about trading, we reduce the risk, and then let it coast. However long it takes to hit those goals, we hit those goals. All right. But then they throw in an added multiplier of you must make one trade a day. They want you to scalp. They want you to take trades every single day so that you get wrecked. They're forcing you to do this. All right, if you want to be a really long-term profitable trader, unless you're very advanced, all right, and you got nothing but focus, okay, you want to go towards swing trading, but they're forcing you to be an active day trader. All right, like I said, if you were successful with it, it would be behoove them to make the market liquidity actually real, but most of them don't. Unless they show you provided proof of that your funds that you are trading are on a liquidity pool, they are not real. So prop firms, there's plenty of other rules that are like set up to make you fail. Like I said, they're basically just juicing people that have high hopes and then giving a small payout to the people that are successful. That's it. That's what a prop firm is. Unless you go to a legitimate one on Wall Street or some other one that can provide you legitimate proof and has a good withdrawal portal with no hiccups. Because most of these prop firms, you have to email them and request a withdrawal. That's no go. I need a withdrawal button. That's instant. So, not going down that route, even though I thought there was a chance. But once I started looking at the rules, once I had that website be very upsetting to work with, I ain't going to another one. You can count me out, Chief. And then beyond that point, so let's say you pass the 2 tests, all right, you would theoretically receive 20% of all profits made. If you have a $10,000 portfolio and you make 10% on the portfolio, $1,000, you would come away with $200. So here's the simple solution to all this. You want to go spend a little tiny bit of money at a prop firm. Why not just put in some extra time and save up $2,000? Sounds like a lot of money. And for some people it is. I know for me right now with the bear market and everything and bills and all that kind of stuff, $2,000, quite a bit. But it's doable. All right. Doesn't have to be by tomorrow. The whole thing with prop firms is they're preying on instant gratification. They want people to come in, give $80, boom, 10K. And essentially all that's worth is $2,000 to you. Right? Because on a $2,000 portfolio, first off, you have no restrictions on you have to trade. You can swing trade. You can take all the time in the world. Be cautious, meticulous, and make sure that your profits are real and keep on chugging. All right, there's no time limit. And with $2,000, if you make 10% on the portfolio, you make that $200 anyways. So, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. All right. And for anybody that's caught up in a prop firm, if it's working out for you, I guess keep on living, but don't be surprised. Not be surprised. Any trades I'm in? Well, I'm in the Bitcoin short. I still have that open, but unfortunately that whole ETH thing with the prop firm messed some stuff up. Go ahead and open up DYDX here. Yeah, that trade's doing. $100 portfolio challenge for use the ABCs on the 1 minute chart. I don't think ABCs work necessarily on the 1 minute chart. They might be frequent, but I think the ABCs really work well with larger trends because it's more focused on macro psychology of a market. Stuff that happens on the micro time frame, you start dealing with bots, and you're not really dealing with human emotion at that point. Now, 1 hour, 2 hour, like if you want to like get a little bit smaller time frame, you really don't like swing trading, which I'm telling you, so much better for your soul. But yeah, I can go with that. I mean, we've done it in the past. I made good money. It's just right now with how things are slow and methodical, and then when they get going, they're usually in one direction. There's not a lot of chop trading. How long did it take you to go from $100 to 100K? 54 days. But that was in the bull market. Bull market, all I had to do during the bull market was take breakout trade, let the market go up, let the market come down, let the market go up to the previous resistance, take profit, take the next breakout trade, and then compound it the whole way through. During a bear market, I don't think 54 days is very likely. Also, I was using very like aggressive tactics. Like the first trade I took, I was taking 100x leverage, entire portfolio. So my account went from 100 to 400. And then from there, I now went down to 20% risk. So then I went from 400 to 700 or something like that. And once I got to 1,000, I dropped it down to 10% risk, so on and so on. I mean, with the bull market being as aggressive as it was very easy. And I'm sure there'll be a time like that again. Once the halvening rolls around and we start breaking some of these macro resistances, we can focus on more of like a breakout strategy type movement. But at this moment in time, with trend shifts and just retesting, ABCs are obviously leading the way. Even towards the top of the bull market, ABCs started to take over with the bottoming halves. Clickbait Kite. That's my new nickname. My whole goal with that is just get people into the streams, not for like subscribers or popularity, but to just talk some sense into crypto YouTube. Because everybody's always so concerned with calling out crazy numbers back and forth. We're going to this number. We're dumping to this number. Going to this number. So if someone comes in here and they go, "You really think that we're going down to 16.3K? I go, "I don't think so. But if this, and this happens in this order, then yeah." So like as certain things happen, the likelihood gets closer. With us holding below resistances right now, the likelihood is closer, especially with ETH's gigantic ABC. So that's the reason why I'm going to start doing clickbait titles. Are you winning, son? As of right now, yeah, I am. Like I said, I'm 2 days into a fast. And I have high hopes for tomorrow, but at the same time, I don't. Thoughts so far on DYDX? I like it. I haven't had any issues with it. As long as you adhere to the correct contract size that you set up in the risk reward calculator, you should theoretically get the same results as you would. The leverage really doesn't work the same way. So like I said, that's why you have to focus more on contract size. But so far, so good. Okay, would you ever use KuCoin or are they KYC too? I hate them too, but still have accounts on there and they're always easy to use. Haven't tried DYDX for myself. I just never really used KuCoin. And the whole thing is that if my favorite exchange I've been using for years decided to do this, I'm sure other exchanges will follow suit if it's profitable for them. Plain and simple. So I'd rather go to a decentralized exchange where there's no exchange of info any whatsoever, only wallet addresses and liquidity pools. That's what I like. Who do you use for trading? DYDX website I got up on my screen right now. That was the wrong can of water. Normally I wouldn't spit it out if it was regular water, but this is carbonated water, so if it goes completely flat, you can just taste the carbonic acid, and it doesn't taste good. So that's a no-go. So what I ended up doing was putting $8 a day towards Bitcoin, just to build up like a small little portfolio, something I'm not touching at all. And during my fasting week, I'm going to be just putting whatever I would be spending on food per day, so it doesn't change my budget, is going to be going towards that Bitcoin wallet. So it's like an extra $6, $7 a day. What's your settings for the R&R calculator? Well, since I gotta be using 20x leverage now, I did lower the leverage, heighten the margin. So this is what I'm using right now. So 8% margin, 50% risk, 3% stop loss. Like I said, if you go into DYDX and you try to set your leverage won't work the way that it did on isolated margin. You have to just put in the contract size, and that will make everything correct. And then after you set up your trade, you need to go in and set up a stop market order. So if you're in a sell short, you need to set up a stop market buy. So you can see that's right here, stop market buy. DYDX no bot. Yeah, unfortunately at the moment, I don't think there's any APY access. So TradingView Hub is kind of null and void at the moment. Kite, do you still follow Filicon? He's probably still on my subscription list, but no, like I'm not actively watching him every single day. I actually haven't watched him in probably a couple years, but he was a huge influence in the beginning of my trading journey. Definitely taught me a lot about Elliott Wave. Once I started getting down to the nitty-gritty and reading the books, that's when I kind of just put together my own type of strategy that took a lot of the emotion and egotistic prediction out of it. You wrote a webhook bot for DYDX, essentially setting up trades. Awesome, man. No. I don't actually have a spit cup anymore. The whole thing with spit cups is if you're doing chewing tobacco, which is like really nasty, the nicotine pouches from Zen, as long as you keep them in your upper lip, there's really no like major spit accumulation that's mixed with the nicotine, so you're not going to get sick from it. You just let gravity do the work. Told all your buddies to buy Apple when it got back above 129. Is that the cross back above the massive A that Apple made? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, those only come along. Like we took a look at it, and that was a good spot. They don't come along very often, but usually after they hit, stuff happens. Stuff do be happening. Does DYDX need KYC? No. DYDX is a decentralized exchange. There is no sharing of info. No names, no email addresses, no nothing. You directly connect a MetaMask wallet or any other type of wallet to the website. That way you can send it to it, and then it deposits funds, and you do the trading on it, and then you deposit directly back to your wallet. Plain and simple. You do still need to use a VPN, but that's not a big deal. Opera GX has a free built-in VPN. You don't have to pay for anything. And boom, bada bing. You're all set up. Pushes Zen a little further back toward your molars on upper deck. You'll get some juice from. I don't want the juice, man. Trying to get that nicotine osmosis. I don't think that's the right term, but what I can equate it to. Yeah, I really just wanted to hop back on, say hello. That way I'm not gone for too long. Gotta maintain the habit, checking in with you guys. And I do plan to continue doing the daily live streams. But as things are getting settled and just life in general, we might have to do some at night, some during the day. Who knows? I'm going to try to keep it plain and simple. 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. But try my best. Gotta do more research on the optimal time to eat my one meal a day. Because when you eat has a huge deal to do with your circadian rhythm. So I don't know if I'm timing that correctly. I don't know if I actually should be eating it like in the morning. But maybe later in the day, probably around like 6 or 7. Because when your insulin spikes up, you do get tired. So maybe that's how I kind of hack it. On DYDX, what's your margin you use on BTC? So that's the thing. Technically, I'm using $80, but I'm focusing mainly on contract size. So on DYDX, you take whatever your trade set is. So if you have a portfolio of $1,000, 8% margin, 50% risk, percent stop loss. Don't pay attention to the actual leverage. All right. Pay attention to the contracts to use. All right. So right here, contracts to use. And then that's what you put in. So right here, 1,300 contracts is what I got in there. Obviously, it's going to slightly change as price goes up and down, but that's essentially what it is. Am I doing keto? No, at the moment I'm doing intermittent fasting. I'm paying attention, all right? But the thing with one meal a day is that you have 20 hours where you're in a fasted state. So at that point in time, the amount of carbs that you're taking in at a single meal doesn't really matter. So doing crazy keto, yes, it could help you get into a ketogenic state faster, but when you're doing that type of fasting, not really going to be like any crazy more beneficial. By the end of a week of doing one meal a day, you're in the purple keto sticks. So you're doing good. No reason to like pay attention and like hyper focus on how many carbs you're taking. Probably when I go back to like 2 meals a day, I'll probably have one meal where I'm able to like eat whatever I want. And then the second meal of the day, would be primarily focused more towards keto, and just really healthy. That way I had the best of both worlds. 2 meals a day within a compact window of probably around 6 hours. Used to have plenty of fasting time where your insulin can come down. And as long as one of those meals are super healthy, the other one doesn't have to be crazy healthy. That way, like, I can still live a regular life and enjoy food. But that's the plan. Until I get down to 160, doing 1 meal a day. To get down to 160, then I'll do 2 meals a day and focus more. During that time, I'm just gonna research like how to cook well, and try to find recipes that are healthy that I like. Because it's one thing to just go start eating straight vegetables, but it's another thing to like have some that you actually like. Yeah, it's getting to be nighttime now, so like my energy levels are definitely down. But during today, after being fasted for 48 hours, um, it was like when I went outside, it was like it's it's almost like I had different vision. Like everything seemed to like almost psychedelic in a way. Hard to explain, but like you can just smell the air and you can hear every bird chirp. Like everything is just kind of like looks more like solid matter. Like I said, very strange. But I also have a lot of experience with psychedelics, so like I can just see that in normal vision is very weird for me. My weight right now at the start of the fast was 193. So in 7 days, we'll see where I'm at. And I've already been doing 1 meal a day for 3 weeks. So it's definitely gonna be an easier time. If you were to just jump into a 7-day fast, it would definitely be difficult. But as long as you're supplementing with magnesium and eating, like literally drinking salt, it's recommended. You have to find your happy balance. So start off with 3 grams of salt a day, and then if you're still feeling like shit during your fast, bump it up to 4 and 5. You shouldn't really go over 9 grams of salt. But yeah, whenever I'm kind of feeling like a little bit down during my fasts, I just take a little turner of salt and just pump some out. Eat some. I'm not really doing the 7-day fast to like really do weight loss. Obviously, it's gonna happen, but like that's not my intention. It's not like, oh, I just want to get down and be skinny. I'm gonna, not eat. There's like so much else that happens during the 7-day fast: autophagy, BDNF release for better brain function. So that's the main reason why I'm doing it. And some of the doctors I've been watching, they recommend every 6 months or so, do a 7-day fast. So why postpone it when feeling good? I can try it out. Even if I only get to 5 days, 5 days is plenty. 7 days is good because after the 3rd to 4th day, all of the symptoms that might hold you back from pushing further go away, and your energy levels skyrocket. So that's why you can go a little bit longer. Obviously, like if you got a lot of fat on you, you can do much longer fasts, but those probably would have to be supervised just in case. Are you doing anything like bulletproof brain octane? No. No coffee, no tea, just salt, magnesium, and water. The whole thing with drinking black coffee during a fast, during a keto diet, it's plenty good because you're getting enough salt per day. But especially with extended fasts, people that like drink a lot of coffee, you're just getting rid of all your sodium way too fast. And you're just not gonna be able to like mentally keep track of like, okay, take in more sodium. So it's better to like keep everything plain and simple, find what your body likes in terms of salt and magnesium, supplement, good to go. You shouldn't really feel like any crazy mood twists or energy level twists. to actually see heightened energy. But like I said, that's because I've kind of over the last month or so gone through and got my body prepared for it. Take some zinc too. I've heard good things about zinc as well. Zinc mostly is for heart palpitations, which I don't personally have a problem with. So I'm taking a multivitamin, but more importantly, it's the salt and magnesium that really helps with fast. The free Dr. Chat GPT AI co-created. I have not heard of that. Don't know if that's a great idea. I mean, if it's giving good information, I guess. But if it's just pumping out the same textbook information that doctors have been fed for the past 50 years, it's probably pumping out some trash. I'm not saying everything that doctors know is trash. When it comes to like, fat loss, all that kind of stuff, pretty trash. Just cut out sugar, bro. Yeah, I mean, like, obviously that's an easy answer, but that's just not the world that we live in. It's not really the world that I want to live in. I enjoy fast food. I enjoy shitty food. Doesn't mean that I won't strive to eat healthier. But it also doesn't mean that I'm just going to cut those foods out of my diet. I feel like if you want to have a regular meal schedule in terms of like the iconic American 3 meals a day, yeah, if you want to maintain that schedule and maintain being healthy, yeah, you have to drastically reduce sugar and refined carbohydrates. But there's a happy balance where if you cut out meals, which is not unhealthy for you, you can find a happy balance of good insulin sensitivity and being able to live in the world and not make compromises. I'm not saying like it's a bad thing. If you choose to eat complete whole foods, you thoroughly enjoy that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I like eating some shitty food sometimes. Tastes good. That's good, Dixon. That's good. It's just there's so much misinformation out there when it comes to some of the stuff. Like the guy that commented that doing the fasts would cause me to go like food crazy and that I would eat more because of it, which is simply untrue. You just can't. You physically can't. So what happens if like you're consistent for like 2 to 3 weeks, what you'll notice, especially with like a 1 meal a day or 4-hour eating window where you can probably pack 2 meals in there, your stomach shrinks pretty quickly. So I talked about it like when I first started doing the 1 meal a day, I could put down, a 10-piece chicken nugget and, a Big Mac, the healthiest meal. That's a lot of food and a whole fry and a Coke. As time went on and the weeks passed, I took like maybe 5 bites out of my Big Mac and, ate some fries, and I couldn't eat anymore because I was full. Like I said in the beginning, it's hard to make these crazy drastic shifts in your life. So when I talk about eating straight McDonald's 2 weeks, right? It's because my body is accustomed to this food. And for your brain to quickly change habits to eating like all whole food, no sugar, you're setting yourself up for like just decimation in your goal. So I did the whole thing where like I'm still eating the same food, but then I'm changing the time in which I eat that food. And then as my stomach starts to get smaller, my meals start to become a little bit healthier. So I went from eating McDonald's to eating just kind of just chicken, Chipotle, stuff like that. Just getting a little bit further away from that type of fast food. To Chipotle is probably not crazy good for you, but I guarantee you it's probably better than McDonald's. Let's just all agree on that, right? A lot more protein, and obviously you're getting some carbs from I believe the rice and stuff, but it's not gonna be a crazy amount like the breading and stuff McDonald's has. So then now with the 7-day fast, can kind of reset my taste buds, and I'm sure I'll be grateful to have any food whatsoever. So then, like I said, I'm gonna start focusing on doing more research on recipes and stuff, and trying to find stuff that I like and that I can cook quickly and make it work into my life. And that's another thing. Like, if you go on like a 5-7 day fast, yeah, I guess mentally, you're ready to pig out. But the second that you eat 600-700 calories, you can be like, that was a big meal. I can't eat anymore because your stomach's just not prepared for it. Now, obviously, with a 7-day fast or anything longer, probably shouldn't eat high protein stuff like that, especially a lot of carbs. Probably want to go more towards just a small, simple meal. Maybe cut up banana and Greek yogurt, and you're good to go. That probably would fill you up. Yeah, I believe I've seen the entire season of South Park, the new one, which I'm kind of sad that it was only 6 episodes. Isn't 4% risk pretty high? I'll admit that when I was setting everything up, I did miscalculations, and I actually did do 4%. You saw me quickly change everything. This is what I'll be using from now on. 37.6% risk out of 8%, which equals 3% total. So technically I am using a little bit more risk than I probably should have, but not crazy amount more. So I plan on buying whatchamacallit, Joshua Weissman's cookbook. I watch his YouTube channel all the freaking time, man. And oh god, if you want food porn, go to Joshua Weissman. Is that his name? Yeah, it is. I envy his abilities to just cook these crazy types of meals. He makes it look easy. I know it's not. The main intimidating factor when it gets into cooking at home is all the utilities, the different size pots and pans and all that kind of stuff. That's the main thing that I'm kind of put off by. I mean, once you get everything bought, then it's just a matter of keeping it clean, and then obviously just food costs. I don't know if it's healthy for me to be looking at this screen right now. I feel like I'm dying. Well, I mean, bread that is whole grain, there is healthier types of bread, but obviously the highly processed refined carbohydrate bread, that's the one that gets you. But unfortunately, those are the good ones. So I don't know if I'm gonna go with open mouth thumbnails. I think clickbait titles are probably the best that I'll go with, because all my clickbait titles are gonna be true to some sense. There is a chance, but like I said, you gotta kind of leave people's imaginations open. It's not they're gonna come into the stream and be like, yeah, we are dumping down to 16.3k. No, I'm gonna be like, okay, all right, we gotta pass this level. Probably see some support there for a moment. We're continuing to hold below this, blah 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 blah. Whole kit and caboodle. Oh, you're talking about Joshua Weissman? having open mouth. I didn't even notice that. Hold on. Oh yeah, he's got one right there. He's got one. He's got two, 3, 4, 5. Oh, he's got, dude, making spam at home, but better. Boom. I'm telling you, his recipes are insane. So I gotta buy his book and at least try to like attempt to make some of this stuff. Probably won't look as good, but hopefully it would taste just as good. The one thing that like doing all the research that I've done, vegetable oil is incredibly bad for you. Plain and simple. Sounds good for you, vegetables, but it's not good for you. So Joshua Weissman, he uses vegetable oil a lot when he does like frying and stuff. So I got to figure out an alternative that won't ruin the taste of the food or catch my kitchen on fire. See if I can open up Fish's new toy. Got him one of those little like puzzle toys where he's gotta like work at it. Yep. He's very confused. I wish I could point the camera down. He's acting like he's not supposed to have it, so he's like looking. He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out eventually. I definitely want to get back into sous vide steaks. Definitely like a time saver. Just being able to pop a steak in there. It's ready to go. All you have to do is sear it. And definitely be incorporating that in some recipes. I'm just using plain old Opera GX. To be honest, I didn't even know they had an Opera crypto. Is that just a wallet or is that a whole other browser? I love Guga. Hey Kai, what charts do you use on TradingView for TA? The best correlates with the prices on DYDX. I've just been using the Bitstamp chart. Right now, like that little region over here is kind of out of whack on all different charts. So I just used DYDXs to get the entry. But we're on like most of every stream. I'm just looking at the Bitstamp chart for Bitcoin. All right, guys. I'm gonna call it for tonight. I'm gonna try to be on tomorrow morning. I can't promise, but definitely trying to maintain the schedule. But at the moment, like these first 3 days, might be a little bit kind of off. So hopefully 4, 5, and 6, 7 are good. Like I said, I felt good today. I wasn't like super hungry. I wasn't super low energy, but obviously it was a different feeling than what I'm used to. So I'll definitely see you guys at some point tomorrow. But yeah, keep between the ditches. Yeah, we'll do that. Good night, AZ. Hope to see you soon. With the Saudis. Don't wreck your dreams. Are you gonna play X Defiant? Haven't heard of that. Or if I have, I don't remember what it is. Right now I've just been playing No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky got like a Sentinel upgrade. Update. Having a lot of fun with it. It's super confusing at times, but it's one of those games that like it's so weird because like they basically scammed you at the start. But everything that they said that was going to happen in the beginning is happening. So essentially all it was you bought the early release. Like most games nowadays. But at the time, 2016, early release wasn't like a super big thing. So they kind of just marketed it as a whole game. Did not come out. Said. All right, guys. I'll check you tomorrow. See you soon. Do this thing. Bye.